views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
Q&A session has started.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Why is my board acting up? Hold on. Attendees. Okay. Make sure I'm working.
Yeah, Gary, you still there?
Okay, yeah, it's working.
Gary,
there's another person on here.
No,
Who's
that was me.
Is that you, Howard?
Howard. Let me say Gary.
Hello?
Yeah.
God damn it. Howard.
Yeah,
you there?
Just listening. Yeah, I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me put Q&A session. Yeah. Screw it. All right. In a world where there's crime, corruption, violence, murder, rape, etc., and all things that plague the world in which we live in, what you witnessing, we are living in a state of chaos, and it'll take a greater or more extreme chaos to restore the order which the world we live in today. Yes, and today, indeed. My God, what a wonderful day. Well, good day. But what's good, everybody? It is Chaos Rain here. I know y'all might not miss me, but I miss y'all for the moment of this special event. You know, as you know, I done and moved on to other things, and as you could tell, you know, it's been such a long time since I done content here on the TRS side of things on YouTube and blog free conference call. Damn. So, and hold on, let me make sure my mic, all things are working. 1 second. All right. I want it full of my attention. So, what has been up to lately from the Mr. Chaos Rain show? Well, actually, I call myself Chaos Rain show now. As you know, in recent years, I go by Chaos Rain. But now, as you know, this is like any other thing. It is actually a show. And the description explains everything that what you expect on the Chaos Rain show. And as y'all could tell, I've been doing some things, as you know. I think the last time I did content here was like in somewhere around summertime, maybe. I could be wrong, or maybe less than summertime. But lots have changed during that time. As y'all know, y'all could follow me on YouTube, especially on my channel, Chaos Rain Show. And you know, I might put a link. And I see one person raised their hand. I'm gonna answer his hand right now, just before I continue the conversation. All right, caller, who's this?
Hey, Chaos Reigns.
How you doing?
Where you been, man? I missed you, bro. Yeah, your buddy. I missed you, bro. What you been doing?
I do content on my YouTube channel, Greg. I'm doing other things now. You know.
Like what?
So
what you been doing?
As you know, what they said, we have been stepping up. We moving on up.
To the east side. Yeah, I miss that show. Jefferson's, right?
Yeah.
You know, he was a lot younger than her. I didn't know that. He was like 15 years younger than her.
Wait a minute. In the Jeffersons?
Yeah, so
Who's
she's a way
younger?
older than her. George was about 15 years younger than her.
Oh, his wife allegedly played
Yeah,
that he played. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
Louise.
really? Oh,
And he was gay too. I didn't know that either. He was like 15 years younger than her.
okay. Well, she was in her 20s when she did that
No,
broadcast.
she was like in her almost late 50s, and he was like in his early 40s. I did this
Okay.
show. He was a lot younger than her. He was a lot younger than she was. He was barely 40, like 42, 41, 42. He looked
Oh,
older,
that's
but he
what's
was
up.
actually quite a young
Oh,
man.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Huh?
Okay. So, well, that's what's
Did
up.
you know
So
that?
I did not know that. I thought usually with most actors now, usually men on the average, Greg,
Yeah.
are gonna be older than some of the ladies. But
You mean
everything's
like Tom
different, right?
Cruise? Tom Cruise is 60,
I
and
mean,
his
either
co-stars are,
older or the same age, roughly. Because back then they didn't like get married late, like how people get married late now or having children late now. Back in the
yeah,
30s up to I would say early 2000s or late 2000s, going 2010. Most people got married 18, had a life, create life,
yeah,
and stayed married.
that's right. Yeah, my
I
father
mean,
was,
don't get me wrong. Some people divorced around that time, back in the I would say 80s. But roughly, if you're a baby boomer, if you're born in
uh,
1945 or a silent generation or baby boomer from wherever the 20s up to 1964, you normally will
yeah.
not be divorcing on the average.
Yeah,
You
my
know,
mother was like 16 when she got married. My father was like 21, I think. Yeah, he was a bit
okay,
older than her.
yeah,
It was
yeah. I
weird.
mean,
Growing up, let me tell you, growing up, I only saw my father's side of the family. We were living in California, and my mother's side never got a card from them. They never really visited us. One of them did, and it was always from my father's side. And I went back to New Jersey to visit my aunt. In a way, my mother always said, "Go visit your aunt before she died." And I went back there, and my aunt told me a story. I didn't know this.
mhm,
My father had dated her. She's the older sister, right? For a year, and then he dumped her. He dumped her, and he married the younger sister, right, which is my mother. And
yeah,
so the family was trying to get my dad. The brothers were gonna get him and shit and fuck him up, right? So they fucking moved to New Jersey, get away from. They were looking to get his ass. They wanted to fuck him up because he jilted my aunt, and I didn't know that, man. But my father used to always tell me. He not always. He said, if you get married, you make sure you marry whoever you want to marry. I remember him telling me that when I was like 11 or 12, and I didn't understand it. And found out he stayed my aunt, and he dumped her and dated my mother and the little sister. It was some weird shit, bro. And that was a story. I just remember that growing up. That that's why we never got shit from my mother's side of the family growing up. I never got one gift. Christmas, nothing. Except the aunt. The one that my father dated is the one that came to visit us in California. And then wants to send me gifts. That's the one he jilted. My dad, my dad was a motherfucker, man, when he was younger. But he did that old fuck shit, and they were trying to. I mean, people were doing crazy shit back then, man, in the 40s and 50s, man. I mean, ain't nothing changed. They were doing that shit back then. But we just okay. Alex, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. What's the show about? Chaos Reigns. What are you gonna talk about, man? I'll listen in.
I mean, just sit back. Let me do my little rant, and then
Okay.
and I'll
All right.
probably raise your hand again. All right. Is that cool?
All right.
All right. Cool. 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 All right. All right. So a lot of things has happened. A lot of things has gone on. Oh, and thanks for those that will tune into this and leave comments during this. Depending what I do with this. Um, as y'all know, for context, for let people know what I was been doing. As you know, I have my own little YouTube channel, and probably another one I have like a few channels, not many that I focus and prioritize personally. But I just know with the Chaos Reign show, it's more of the more focus for now, like many things I do. And as you know, my content, if people have been familiar with what I've been doing on the TRS side of things before I did YouTube, is this channel was more focused on regular issues, entertainment. We talk about politics. We talk about pretty much anything, including I have interviews to have conversations about today's world or reality we live in today, and have conversations and sit back and have fun. As you know, during the beginning stage on this journey, for those that don't know, like many people, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was not afraid to try things for people that don't know. And like most people that anything you do in life, you should not be afraid of doing things, right? You feel comfortable or uncomfortable. Doing this thing when you're on the mic talking in front of a few hundred thousands, or even if you've done well at millions of people, you always gotta know that your reputation, what you say out your mouth, is very vital. And sometimes it can have importance or ramifications depending on what the subject matter or what you're trying to express. Nonetheless, you have to be like any person when you decide to do this thing, this podcasting, this content creation. You always got to keep in mind of what you stand for and what things you will not do to discourage your own character, no matter any circumstance. I think the few people, if you don't understand what I'm saying, is that if you have a certain intentions or certain discord or things you stand on as a person, man, woman, on what things you will do and won't do, you must stand on it, no matter the circumstance. As y'all know, me doing this journey, I make the conscious effort personally, if I can, and I've done pretty well to the point. I don't like to create fractions or beefs, and something that you could say I take a page from another content creator, but really this content creator, y'all know that's no longer here, Kevin Samuels. He always says this during some parts of his broadcast. He does not create beefs, and people never really conceptualize why Kevin never create beefs. And if you anybody recall any episodes he's done, and I'm gonna use him as an example, mind y'all. So bear with me. And if y'all guys wanna, chop it up with me, have a conversation, the call number for this stream is 717-908-1834. I repeat, 717-908-1834. Access code 917324 pound. To Kevin's knowledge, why he doesn't do it, because he knows the importance that beef in the short term and long term is really considered bad for business. But if you're doing content on YouTube and you have, let's say you are a man or woman and you're doing this for fun, kicks, or whatever. All right, cool. You gotta know what is your sense, purpose, and identity. Are you here to stir up stuff? Are you here to inform? Or are you here for entertainment? Now, during this journey, for people who don't know, there are many people find their niche and place throughout the social media and sectors of YouTube. And we could probably put in Rumble as well, but Rumble is not there yet in regards to the eyeballs yet, but it's going to eventually get there in this coming election in 2024. And the reason why I say it's now, for a heads up for those that's not familiar, Rumble, if you think about it, is another open what they call media platform that people could express what's on their mind, express how they want to do it, how they want to say it, free of reign without any backlash of any form of advertisers that will pay Rumble. Because Rumble's on the I would say on the New York Stock Exchange, so they are making money off this website. The only problem is they're not really making money like that, because to really get advertisers got to really flock to you and pay you to put their commercialization and to sell products to people that will hopefully will click on and buy a product. Because y'all guys gotta understand, in a capitalist system, advertisement whole intention is to sell you something. They want you to spend your money. Whether you are a man or woman that makes good money in your own life or you're barely getting by. They want you to spend, spend, and more spend with the advertisers selling you most likely not useful products that you can't use, or if you could use it, it's only gonna be good for a moment, and after a while you're gonna have to spend money again. But like always, it's always trying to sell you something to get you open your wallet or your purse. And because things are so digital now, that they want you to open your digital wallet and spend more. Um, so Rumble is not there yet. So, but when it does get there, it's going to be the same issues like how people do content on YouTube. They'll find their problems over there. And I remember Little Big Nate, he's on Rumble right now. He's doing pretty decent numbers last time I checked. And it's cool now. It's nice now to run your mouth. But overall, once the platform gets to a certain threshold, you're going to eventually go back. You're going to have the same issues you have on YouTube. So, really, truly, when you do this YouTube thing, for a heads up for those that's going to do either TikTok, IG, or any other media outlet, try to be respectful of what you're doing and respectful to your audience, including be respectful to the future advertisers that will potentially throw money to your platform. And the reason I'm telling future people a heads up on this is because you gotta start develop the practice. Because like me, I mean, I'm not a person that like to use my mouth and like cuss a lot, but I know that people gotta go back and listen to some of this content, and we have to be at least friendly enough for majority consumer ears. Regardless, the consumer today, as we know, the consumer in the present day has a very low attention span that does not threshold over a minute now. So you have to be informative and maybe humorous if you can, just to keep their eyeballs onto your content. And as you know, I said this before, TikTok is one of the corporate deregulators of this because and one thing I would say with TikTok, since I'm going there, I'm convinced TikTok is more geared towards female audience because there's a lot of delusions going on TikTok from what I'm hearing and what I've come across when I tune into the app. A lot of people are selling some garbage. A lot of them are pushing propaganda. And trust me, propaganda is not bad. It can be good if used properly. To other people, to sell them a dream, a lifestyle that they could actually have, but really, if you think about it, not everybody's going to get that. And I think a lot of females that's on there do a good job selling a pipe dream. Now, everybody would say, why doesn't men get be sell a pipe dream same way like the women? Good question. Because men are realistic. They're honest at the end of the day of where they stand. They can't afford to be delusional in the short term and long run. And trust me, delusion does fall under some dudes, but it doesn't hit the same. And then you got to operate as a man and you have to function in this world. So TikTok is a place for a lot of women to really push their toxicity. And I hear even they push misandry over there too, but listen. I like YouTube. YouTube's more gear based to men to a degree. To a degree. But like I said, if you don't know what platform you stand and who's your actual target audience, it makes things a little difficult really putting out the content for those that have the ears to listen to and the response to tune in. So, I mean, Rumble, YouTube, they're gonna be in competition in in a few months because we're in this election season. And I, mind you, I'm a person. I'm not really too fond of talking about politics. I try to steer far away from it because when I look at politics as it stands in present day, it's all a game that you don't throw one coin and hope to get the right outcome of what you select. You want a tails, you flip that. Sometimes you get tails, so you get heads. You want heads, you flip that. You might get heads, you might get tails. You know, from Democrat, Republican, and all them people, which they are, unfortunately, two wings or part of a wing to fly and behold. Another thing, because Kevin did not really go at beef, there was a lot of beef towards him by others. And some of the beef really didn't make no sense, especially the ones that were having a conversation with him personally. Like literally. And they try to use that as a weapon to really go at him because he started to grow and have a real actual audience. And let's be real, image does matter. If you're a man, especially a manly man, whether your avatar or showing your face, your image does really matter in the long run. You know, a lot of people don't understand when people go back to a lot of these content that we have still up or we don't have up no more for a reason. That we leave a paper trail of how we really are and our real intentions and how we behave towards others. I don't know why when it comes to the internet we act as though we're somebody else. I mean, it confused me, but it does confuse me. But I get it because we create a character because it's safe, it's proper, it's logic, and to me, I find it to be very wrong. But like I said, it helps a lot of people that depend on what they're going through their own life. It's like another form of coping and escapism coming on the mic and voicing your opinion, screaming out your opinion and your frustration and all that stuff to people that in the really rare short or long term don't give a f. Like really, they don't really give a crap. And because they don't give a crap, it's something that you're doing or what anybody does. You're hoping that what you do out here putting out certain content, you'll galvanize a crowd or audience that will rock with you, what you're doing, what you're saying, or your intentions as a content creator. Now, building an audience today is a little difficult back then when I started really doing this full on. Now, if I was doing this, like, let's say 6 years ago, I probably would get a fair share of actual retainable audience if I did it back then. I mean, doing it so late now, and we got to understand. I mean, late. I mean, doing things where you know that direction where the channel of many YouTube content are going. Some are either still here, or some just fade out of misery, or fade out out of existence. And I tell y'all that you don't have to be that. You can still be relevant and popular and offer something to the market, the YouTube space especially as a content creator. But you have to figure out what you are and what is your real intentional goal, what you're trying to achieve. You know, I mean, I mean, I think how long was monetized? I've been monetized for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months now. I think around May, around that time, I've been monetized for this lengthy of time, right? And because that, it took a while. It was a very stressful journey And at the time when I got monetized, I already fulfilled the requirements at the time before they start lowering the requirements back in the summertime. And everybody know back then, if people didn't know, I take you back in YouTube history. Usually requirements for monetization years ago was you should have to possibly 500 subscribers and like 1,000 to over 3,000 watch time hours, right? That was the things back in the day. But since 2000, I think 16 or 17, I think the requirements went up. And truly believe the reason why they went up is because a lot of people were going live on their phone, and at the time we were using Google Hangout, so obviously it was actually free. You had to pay to live stream, but you had to pay live stream now for the last 4 years. Like literally, you had to pay for that service, or either that you had to use a very good um website browser to really go live on YouTube. And a lot of people did not know about that either. So yeah, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to grow your channel and to put out content day in day out on that channel to really hope make a dollar. So they monetize for that long. Um, and usually, even me thinking being monetized, you think there was gonna be some serious money in this. But when I look at the after facts, there's not really much money at all. Now, maybe some things I could do differently to grow the viewership to possibly make some more money, maybe. But overall, when I look at the reason why it's very little money, because look at the content people do today and what we do now. I mean, content overall is supposed to be to empower, to educate, and hopefully entertain people. Where by doing this, in return, you get compensated through mostly ad revenue or people super chatting you. But we know that most human beings by default do not want to support their normal content creators, regardless if they're putting out good stuff or not. So what's the next best thing they could do? Well, they could hmm, yeah. So let me scroll up and see what's on the board. Okay, no one's raised their hand, so I'm talking. Also, I keep talking. So truly, that's just the background story. Now in present day, as you know, me doing today's content, this really marks roughly 8 years this month, around the 21st up until this date, 23rd, 24th, or 22nd, was the day I started my content creator journey here on TRS. And it was all fitting in the right time to do this today's stream. Now, I've been doing this now for 8 years. It's a long time. Long time. Um, and throughout the 8 years doing this, I've experienced and learned a lot from a lot of people. Experienced and learned a lot from the few interviewers I had on here to the things that I had to go through on my own channel. And one thing, if I would give advice to those that are going to do this, I would say make sure you're prepared to, if you're going to do this, to make sure you're going to do this, you're going to be doing this alone, and you're going to be frustrated to really think if you makes sense keeping going night in and night out to do the content you do. Yeah, that's a good advice. And another thing, to always don't create beeps if you can. I see too many people that's older than me or younger than me start tension with other content creators for no reason. And the reason why I think they do that, to me, they do it because it's, I always say, they try to get back and try to, I don't know if I can say the word compete, but they're trying to, I would say, kick back and push back on certain people that saying ill or bad things or even misinformation to um the person that's the content creator himself. And that's cool. That's fine, Danny. And they said many things, that how can I say this? I'm trying to think. Oh, and I think I see somebody in the chat room. Who's in the chat room? If you have questions, you can call up the stream. Number. And another things, people got to know, say, what really your real intentions and how long you gonna do this. I think with a lot of people, I think the identity and the time they spent on here, and trust me, I spent enough time on the internet when I make the time. As y'all know, when I first even start really go into this, I made the conscious effort to plan out what I'm gonna do days in advance or weeks, and doing so it gives more organization and continuity to what I'm trying to do. Now, mind you, there's some times I'll do streams and I'll run off the lip, but most streams, I always have some set plan, and even go as far as have some guests, and we just have the conversation. That's the premise I go about doing my content. And as you know, uh, it has worked well, and I think it worked pretty more better. Direction I took it years ago, even back then till now. Now I think about it, I think if anything I had to do differently, if I gotta be honest, I would say if I gotta really do this again, I would probably have to set a regimen in a month of what I want to lay out and do. If I had to do things over again, and really make a conscious decision and say I'm going to probably create and have at least two guests a month. I would organize it a little better than the way I did it back then. Besides now it's a little different now because now I'm a little more control. I come off the fly, depending what's out there, and if there's something that intrigues me, I'll do content on it. And to keep in mind, guys, another thing very important for those that will do future content in the future, it's very vital that thumbnails will be very helpful to go and give more context what you're doing. Give more context. And let's be fair honest. Um, there are some people that's going to take this seriously, and there's some people that's going to be fucking around. I mean, it is what it is. I don't expect everybody to follow the regimen how I go about things. I think every man and woman should plan out what they want and what they want to achieve on here. They decide to do this. And let's be honest, podcasting can be fun. And it can be headaches. I'll tell you one thing. The times when I have people call in during the beginning stage of me doing this, a lot of people were questioning the guests, going back and forth. Hell, they cuss me out sometimes too. But like I said, as y'all know, one time, to those that know, I think when was this? I think this was like back in 2016 or 2017. It was one of them years. It's been a while. Damn. I remember one time I had Nikki just up here, and she was going in on certain things, and it it got. I'll tell you one thing. It got bad. It got so bad when I had her as a guest, and the people that called in and attack, especially my guests, I had to take a step back. I had to take a break, like literally take a real break, like a serious break from this. And that was years ago. But after a while, I talked to some people, and I talked to Tyrone, especially, which he is the host of the show. I kind of, came to grips, and I said, I'm just going to keep going. And the break was needed anyway because, when I was doing it every Sunday night back in 2016, I think it was when they first started recording back on Blog Talk Radio. I was just doing regular content up until the early parts of 2016, but I think before the springtime, up until June, I was like working extra hard to put content on YouTube. I'm actually content on TRS. My apologies. And then, like always, when you're a person new doing this, you could be overwhelmed. So obviously, I did took my necessary break. But after having a conversation with Tyrone, and that's how to go. So you know what? Screw it. I come back and do some more. And that was like 7 years ago. And I didn't look back ever since. I dealt with enough things. I dealt with the criticism. I dealt with people that don't like the guests. Hey, I remember one time some of the callers didn't like Dawa Yusaril. And to people who don't know who Dawa Yusaril is, he's an Israelite black man that talked about black issues. He preaches black love, even to the point he doesn't like scratch it. He hates homosexuality, which is fine. He wrote a book back then and revised it 7 years ago, around I think 2017, or 2018. One of this he revised it back, and a lot of people that knew Dawa and took backlash against him is because his views about the homosexuality and issues what black people struggle with. So I get it. Now, I did not stop having a conversation with Dawa. I had, my conversation on the phone about life, how he's doing, all that stuff. Even to the point when he died in 2022. With I think he had like some colon issue. I think that's what happened. So, in depth, he was a good person, good man, a respectful man. At one time, the only thing I will regret with Dawa, I should have gone through with the show, but because he was in a certain state mentally, I didn't feel it was right, and I was not in the right mood to go forward with the show back in 2022, I believe, early parts of 2022, because I don't think the brother was really how he was carrying on and what was really going on with him. I don't think it was right, and the time wasn't there at the time to have him on. Now, thinking back, I should have gone through with it, but in my mind, my conscience and how I think and move and how things move with me, I think that was probably the right call for not only myself but for him, because I think Darwin was going through some serious health issues, and I don't think it was appropriate for having him on to talk about what he was facing, that people were getting at him, or and I don't think it was the right time. And I think I made the right call at that time. Regardless, I'm thinking back that I should have gone through, but when I think about in the long term, looking back at it, I think that move made sense because I have to protect some of the people that I do content with. Personally, I mean that's how I look at it. So he it's been now a year now since November since he's been gone. Some work will live on, and some work will not probably live on at all. And that comes with the territory. That's nature of the beast, and nature of anything in life. So that's that one. Even to the point where I had other people that are now doing very well on YouTube that I had conversations on here for the last few years. I think one person I had on here was El Guapo, Beautiful Live. I had him on, and he just started his YouTube journey back in 2021, I believe. Was it? Might be that. And now he's up to he's almost up to 60K subscribers and doing some real actual hardcore content. You know, so I say kudos to him. I also had another popular content creator that had a big channel by the name of Crumb TV. You know, as you know, his content has grown pretty well since the last time I talked to him. And I had what's his name? Who's the other guy I had up here? I had what's his name? Kosher Condition. Kosher. Right now he's doing pretty good stuff on his end. You know, I had Ike Ojimia. Who else I had out here? I had Brendan Jennings. I mean, it's hard for me to name. I've done, if I had to go back, I've done probably almost close to 100 interviews. If I could go back to all the interviews I did since 2016 to present, I have probably done over 100 interviews. Yeah. If it's not that, it probably close to 100 interviewers. Because, and that's not really easy, because if y'all didn't know, at the time in TRS, I think I'm the only man, and I'm gonna brag a little bit. I was the only man or content creator of the time went out and seek the people to have the conversation. That means I had to go through social media. I had to email them. I had to do everything and all of the above. You know, personally, to what to say, to not only create content but have the actual conversation. And trust me, I learned a lot for the few guests that participate on my channel, on here on TRS and even on my YouTube channel. Oh wow, I was looking at something, and I might even continue doing it if I do make the time effort to get more people. I will do so. I will do so. Yeah. But you know, oh, for those that did not know, 'cause it's been a while since I talked to y'all. Did y'all know, for those that on TRS family on the outside, did y'all know one of my videos I had with the last guest I had on my channel, I had like over 1,000 views, and it was the most, and I can't say, well, it was actually the most ever watched interview I done on my platform since I started doing this for the last 8 years. And I had a conversation with a swirler. Oh, one swirler, actually. Beautiful, nice, beautiful woman. You know, she's pro-black. You know, and she, you know, takes her options. You know, she wrote a book titled "A White Man's Whore." Now, mind you, the book kind of throws a lot of people off because it's saying a white man's what? Yeah, a white man's whore. And I was the only person in this YouTube sector to reach out and have the interview with this lady. And I do say so. It was a very fruitful and comfortable interview. A well easy interview. You know. TJ, you crazy, man. Hey, TJ, if you're in the building, call in, man. Yeah. So, really, truly, it was a good interview. If y'all don't know this, you can find my channel. Listen to it for yourself. Now, since then, she went on other people's platforms, but I think I catapulted her to really have a conversation with other men on social media and YouTube. And I'm gonna say this: you can learn a lot from Mimi Alexanders because the book she wrote kind of categorized the different types of white men, which are important. Which are important. But like I said, you gotta read her book to find out about that person. Also, around this time, I've done video dedicating to the one they call Uncle David Carroll, a person that a lot of people hate because he expressed and talks his mind in regards talking and saying that black people, black men and black women are monkeys and how they don't understand anything and getting played by a fool. Ends the point when he goes hard and goes in on black women, like yikes! Like this man, he goes in, like literally, he goes in on black women. Like it's like this. If you don't have a real good uncle telling you the real, you are missing out in life. I'm just telling you right now, you're just missing out in life. But yeah. So I did a dedication live stream on Uncle Dave Kurt. The only way you could get to that, you're gonna have to become a member of the channel to watch the fully uncut version of that. Yeah. Let me give the call number one more time. The call number is 717-908-1834. I repeat, 717-908-1834. Access code 917-324#. I repeat, call number is 717-908-1834. Access code 917-324#. As you know, the title, The Chaos Returns. What's good? Yeah. Now, one thing I will do since I'm on here, and let me see how much time I've done on right now. I'm just gonna look at the time. Okay, I think we're almost an hour in. Let me just refresh it. No, we're not even an hour in. Okay, that's cool. Oh, I see you, Monica Lamb or Dr. Lamb. How you doing, Miss Mo? Your birthday's coming up soon, Miss Monica. I would say happy 47th birthday to you. Once your birthday comes on the 28th of December, I believe. You're a Capricorn. Capricorn. You know. Yeah. If you want, Mo, give me a call. I want to talk. If you're not busy, call up the line. It's been a while. It's been a while since I did content on here. If you can, I want to talk to some people on here. Yeah. So I've noticed this stir between Jonathan Owens and what's her name? Blitz. Or she's now considered Mrs. Owen. And let me find the actual name. Simone Blitz, actually. But I would like to call her by her title because they're married, legal marriage. Jonathan Owens and Simone Owens. A lot of tension has been going on. Wait, hold on. Okay. I'm in Louisiana with family. It is loud. Oh, it's loud. Okay. You eating that real crawfish, that Louisiana gumbo, Mo? I would say gumbo, Mo, Dr. Mo. Just asking. Yeah. A lot of tension going around the internet between these two married couple. And to me, I'm thinking, what's up with this? Like, wait, what's up with it? Because I'm thinking, it's just me. What's the beef? What's the issue, ladies? Why are you such invested in other ladies or women in our group or outside our group on what they deal with their relationships, especially in regards to marriage? I'm very confused. I'm just confused. I don't know. Can somebody answer for me? Because I have not watched the video in its entirety. I saw snippets like everybody else. And you know me when it comes to snippets. If I could find the actual taping, I'd rather have my own honest opinion watching the whole tape before I come to my own conclusions. But from seeing a glimpse of it, 'cause I'm not gonna talk about the whole live stream or the video itself. 'Cause I probably will do an actual live stream on it. But I'll say this: from what Jonathan has said, I don't see nothing wrong with that. You know, and mind you, he is a NFL football player. Now everybody knows what's going on with other athletes, unless someone tells them roughly. But I think when it comes to a lot of people, they think every person should know what everybody else is doing. That means this man should know who he has on his arm. And let's be honest, Simone Owens, or what they call Simone Blitz, is not an ugly woman. She's a cute, short, Belize sister, black woman. She's not fat. She's athletic. She looks very wholesome, very smiley. You know one thing I find with a lot of women today, and I'm not sure if she was born and raised in America. Let me do some research on Simone. And I see people in the chat room now. Okay. Yes. Miss Monica, do you feel that the people that complain about their marriage, especially black women, are they in their right mind to be saying things about their marriage to the point where they say that Simone should divorce her husband? Do you believe that should be the right call? I'm curious. Put your answer in the chat room. As you do that, I'm going to Google her right now. I'm going to Google her right now. I think it's fitting to Google her. 1 second, guys. Let me pull up. All right. Simone Bliss. Simone Bliss. Oh, ain't this some? Her name pops up. Ain't that some? Let me check her network. Okay. Nice. Let me go back. Wait. I'm gonna look her up. We're gonna go to Simone Blitz. Simone Blitz background. All right. She was born in 1997, March 14th, so she is roughly a Pisces. She obviously she's 26. It says she's originally from Columbus, Ohio. Okay. Her teammate Gabby Douglas. Let me see who Gabby is. Okay. Gabby Douglas is born 95. Well, she's about to be 28, so she's about to be 28. I'm born in 1995. She wants to turn 28 this year. I heard a comparison between her and Gabby. Gabby's 5'2". Going back. Simone is only 4'8". This is a tiny woman. This usually if you're under 5 feet, you are roughly touching or teetering midget height. This is a small woman. This is a very small woman. Very small woman. So obviously she's not gonna be a big woman. Now mind you, when she start having children, and she, like any athletes, if she keep herself up, she'd be great. She'd be good. And I think there's no problem with her worrying about her getting fat because once you're an athlete and you keep knowing to preserve your body, she has no. I think most people take pride in that. I could be wrong, but everybody's different. Let's look at her childhood. All right, she grew up in Spring, Texas, after she and her sister were adopted by her grandparents. Blitz became interested in gymnastics when she was 6 years old. After a field trip to a gymnastics center, she trained there for 11 years. Okay. Blitz excelled in all events: vault, floor exercise, balance beams, and uneven bars. Okay. Let me see if I can find her. Let me see if this will work. I'm gonna try to find. Cause they said her background is Belize, South America. It says 4'9", but still 4'8", 4'9". Roughly, she's not. She's under 5 feet, so very short. That's considered midget height. Let me see. Let's see. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find. All right, this doesn't tell me nothing. That's Britannica. I don't want to use Encyclopedia Britannica. Let's go to her ethnic background. All right. Mm. All right. Let's look. It says she's African. My confusion. Where does Belize background come from? I don't see it. Let me see if Wikipedia will go in more detail. This. Let's look. All right. All right. Let's look at this. All right. I'm looking now. I did not see anything about. Okay, here's one. Andrea Ron's sister Sharon Aunt Harris adopted the two oldest children. She holds Belizean citizenship through her adopted mother and considered Belize to be her second home. Bliss and her family are Catholic. So here it says here, in 2000, Bliss, Bliss, maternal grandfather Ron Bliss, and second wife Nyland Cateno Bliss began caring temporary for Shannon's children in the North Houston suburbs of Spring, Texas. After learning his grandchildren were in foster care in 2003, the couple formally adopted Simone and her younger sister, Adrian Ron's sister. Okay, all right. Well, I don't say nothing. Let me keep going down. She said they said she's African American, so I don't know where the beliefs come from. It's not saying here on a lot of the information I'm looking up. I'm googling it. It doesn't say nothing about that. It says about some citizenship, but it doesn't say if everyone or family background or beliefs. I'm looking good. I don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. So she's American. Not surprised. Let me keep looking. Make sure. Yeah, she's American. All right, so let me go back. I'm not going to detail that. Let's go down further. I'm looking now. She adopted, so yeah. Yeah, I'm looking closely on the background. The hell is this? This dumb thing came up. All right. Are you serious? All right. All right. So I don't see nothing here that really confirms that she is Belizean in origin. But it says she loves Belize. So she likes it there. She likes traveling there, but she's not part of that country. Surprisingly. But anyway, that's that. That's what I found out. So there's nothing really confirming that. All right, so she is African American, which is cool. I ain't gonna look into his husband because I don't think it's really relevant to me. I think the more focus is Simone's husband and their relationship that the internet got all in their feelings. Kevin said it best: women keep other women single, and he was not lying. He was definitely not lying. I mean, I hear a lot of things swirl up that One time, Simone was in a relationship with a white man, or I think it's one of them South American men. I don't know what he does. And to me, okay, so why it did not work out where it's something that's more than a fling? Because the problem I have and disingenuous with these conversations, unless you're being wedded off and being married, what you're doing here is you're screwing. That's me. But before I go on, I say caller. Caller, who's this?
Yeah, hey Gary, how are you? Solution.
How you doing, Mr. Solution? How you doing? What's good?
I'm doing
Been a
well.
long time,
Gary,
Mr. Solution. I did not remember you. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, Mr. Solution?
yeah, good to hear from you. I think this is a foregone conclusion that men of all different economic types and ethnic types, they're going to other countries where women appreciate them more. So it may be that situation of a so-called problem may have been overcome by the event. What do you think?
To me, black women gave this life. No other people
What?
are giving this life. I think black women are giving this more attention in life than everybody else. Because I did not knew about this interview Simone and her husband had with people at TV. This was days ago.
You cut out, Gary. Try it
Can you hear me
again.
good? You hear me good
Yeah,
now?
you cut out though. Try it again.
All right, I was saying this. Black women have gave this what was put out on the internet life. And as a person that outside looking in, Ms. Solutions,
right.
I have not watched the whole video, and I probably will do more extensive content on this week.
Yes.
My thing is this: why is people invested on somebody else's marriage, and you're not married? Like literally, and the advocate someone should get divorced. This is new to me, Ms. Solution.
Right, but
you don't see. I would say this: you do not see men if they really invested and they find that this woman was off the rail. They will be making content, be on comment posts saying, "Get a divorce, get a divorce."
Right.
Have you noticed this? Have you seen this?
Well, let me just say this. I think you hit the nail on the head because a lot of this is for content creation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so if you look at it from that angle, I mean, I've seen people, now some of it's pretty good. I watch some of it, listen to it, watch it. But I think with men going to various other countries, and there are plenty of women in those countries. Now, it is a little bit cumbersome, but it gives the men a chance to travel and just leave the women here alone because the laws and I was looking at Tomi Lahren, and she is a Caucasian lady by, I guess, by her classification. But at any rate, she called men trash.
The 31-year-old journalist, Tomi Lahren, 31-year-old.
Right, that's her. She called men trash. Now they backed her up on that.
That was years ago. But she had it repeat
it's been a while ago, but I recall it. You were talking about Mr. Samuels, and he referenced that also. But I mean, women in America have just, they've got to find their space, their place, their niche, whatever. And it's, things are too high. Guys are saying it costs so much. Now they go to other countries. There's a guy I look at sometimes. He's in Brazil. Another one is going around the world. But dating is so much more easy. The women like the men. I mean, it's not perfect there, but a lot of this is answered, and I don't think it's going to be fixed. It can't be. Now we can talk about it, of course, but it may be a little bit of a waste of time. So men are just going to other places. They're hopping on the plane, getting their passport, and just dealing with women that are, you remember what Kevin used to say, feminine, fit, and friendly. Those
Mm-hmm.
the 3
Yeah.
F's. Yeah. So
Wait,
maybe you should go
Mr.
ahead.
Sue,
Go
stay
ahead.
on line. I'm just gonna open this line. I just want to make sure you're still on. Stay right there. Caller, who's this?
What's going on, Gary? Welcome back, brother.
I don't. All right, Mr. Solution, continue talking.
Well, yeah. Oh.
I got something for that ass, Mr. Solutions. Go ahead.
This is Jay from New York. Jay from New York dissed on $50,000. He disrespected $50,000. I'm just throwing that out there. So
yeah, but we'll get to the 50,000. Finish what you gotta say, because I got something for your ass. Go ahead.
This is the kind of guy this is. He put down $50,000, and I told him he
finish what you saying, so I could burn your ass. Go ahead.
Hey, don't let me have to call Greg. Look here. Anyway, yeah, I think the peace is going to be just between men and American women, just sort of a mutual separation. And if one or two kind of meanders into each other's space, that's okay. But other than that, I don't think they're going to put a whole lot of effort trying to, make peace with each other. Gary, are you there?
I'm here. Yeah. All right, Jay, what you about to say before I say something?
So I heard a little bit. I don't know. I think you told about Simone from MSNBC. Is that correct?
No. Simone Blitz, or now called Simone Owens, is a gymnastic lady, a 26-year-old gymnast, a short African American gymnast that won gold medals. Simone Blitz.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No. So I got the right here. All right. So all right. I'm not going to speak on that, but I'm going to speak on what Mr. Solution said about women appreciating American men more than American women appreciating or black American women. Well, let's question why they appreciate American women. Is it because of the finances or American men? Why do foreign women appreciate American men? Is it because of their bank account? Is it what they're providing financially? And then is it also that women are traditionally raised like that to be submissive the old traditional way? When you talk about a lot of these foreign countries, we're talking about countries that are backed up in time. They're still living in, 30, 40, 50 years behind in a lot of ways, even with certain technology, right? The only thing that they might have that's brand new is a phone, with the internet and stuff like that. But again, I would say that, does that also, and this is a question, is it something that also apply to men? Is it that men that are foreign men looking towards American women as a better opportunity or appreciating American black women more than their women there because of the finances? Again, so I would just question that, as much as we saying that, men are going to get treated well, which most likely will, is it because of the backed up countries that you're dealing with? Is it the traditional way? Is it because she's really interested in getting her finances or elevating out of the country or out of the average marriage locally? And I'll leave it there. And Gary, welcome back, brother.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any response to that, Mr. Solution?
Yeah. I don't think you have a lot of the latter happening. I mean, of course, some guys may look to the women, but American women on the aggregate don't have a lot of money. Most of them are strapped with student loan debt. I mean, just huge indebtedness. And thus, most of them don't have any money. A good percentage of Americans, over half, are living on credit cards. So I don't think that's it. But look, Dr. Warren Farrell wrote a book called The Myth of Male Power. And one time I was in a restaurant with some friends, and they pulled out this menu. mean, it was a nice restaurant, everything. But my land, this menu had too many choices. Now, you may think, well, a lot of choices would be great. No, it's not. Sometimes there are just too damn many choices. And this thing was huge. It was colossal. And I just went, damn, this. Anyway, the point is that we're no longer in our evolutionary stage of survival. We're in the fulfillment stage now, right? We don't have to go out and kill an animal. We can just go to the market. So having a lot of choices may sacrifice former things. So women have a lot of options. They have modernity, they have lesbianism, they have Me Tooism, they can get wrapped up in materialism. In other words, there are a whole bunch of distractions. And, you know, a lot of women, whatever, their careers, you know, this sort of thing, and they get wrapped up in that. And I've dealt with some women who really didn't have time for a relationship. They were too busy. Now, they weren't doing anything of great importance. I mean, I can stand back and just do a survey, and many of them get sick because they're just overworked, overstressed, you know, going to work and to school and to work, commuting. I mean, but the point I'm trying to get at here is that people have a lot of choices today, and relationships are not foremost on their list of things to do. And this is true with a lot of women. They've been, quote unquote, liberated. I mean, there's a deregulated sexual marketplace. You know, women can go out and increase their body count. They can get on the what's called the cock. They can get on the cock carousel. You know, so women are busy. They don't have time for relationships with one guy. And so what guys are doing, they're saying, okay, all right, I'll see you if I see you. And they go and do something that's more beneficial to them. So I think that's one reason, is that we're in the, like I say, in the fulfillment stage. We're not survival anymore. So there you go. Society has kind of moved into modernity, and women don't feel the need to be married to one man or to even have kids. A lot of women, especially professional women, they aren't having kids at the so-called replacement rate, which I think is about 2.3, 2.4, something like that per woman.
But usually if we talk about replacement, it should be roughly 3 kids.
Oh, it's 3. Okay, maybe so.
No. Everybody says 2, but to be honest, when I hear about replacement, in nature, depending what child you have,
yes.
If you have 2, that means something could happen. You could lose 1 or 2, possibly.
Well, I said 2 point. I gave a decimal point.
Yeah. I know the percentage of what you said, 2 point roughly, but usually to be modest, to be really there as actual, don't concern about losing people or what we call need a replacement, is usually 3 is the key.
Okay, but you know that point adds up when you get into the millions.
Before you continue, let me open this.
I'm sorry, say it again.
All right. Who's this? Hello? Greg?
Yeah, it's actually 2.2.
All right. Wait, you got to wait. I want Ms. Sushin to finish. Ms. Sushin there?
Yeah, I thought it was. I didn't think it was 3, Gary.
2.2.
No, I added
Greg. Hi.
Yeah,
it's 2.2.
Merry Christmas.
No, I said 3, Ms. Sushin, because this is why the reason why I say 3. When people say 2, I said 3 because it's much more logic. You get me? 3 because.
Well, wait a minute, and I don't want to quibble that.
And you have 2 left. Because
I said 2.3, and that point adds when you get in.
That's only 2 children.
But that comes out to millions. That comes out to millions, Gary, when you add it over millions. See, we're 335 million people in America, and if you want to look at that in terms of reproductive aged women, that may put you over 50 million women, right?
I don't know.
That's a lot.
I do the numbers. I gotta do the numbers.
I don't know about that.
We gotta be precise with numbers. We're not gonna do that right now because that's too much work. Yeah. But what's up, Greg? You back online? What's up? What's saying, man?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna chime in on the women thing. Now, I was in Europe for 4 years in the army in the 80s, and the women were different. It was very noticeable when I got there. They were more feminine. They were in shape for one, because they walk a lot in Europe. They don't just try order everything and drive. They walk. They walk a lot. They're in shape and they're very feminine. And the most important thing I noticed, they were unique. They were into horticulture. They were in autos. They had interesting personalities, man. They had hobbies, and there was no comparison. Even now, I just noticed a difference, man. That European women were they were marriageable. I mean, you met a lot of women that you could marry. Here, you might meet maybe one a month when I was dating that I would even consider marrying. Not even one. But when I was in Europe, man, I mean, I was meeting all kind of women that you could marry. They were agreeable. These women are not up to standard. I just noticed that when I was in Europe, man. They aren't there. Anyone who's ever traveled the world will tell you the same thing I'm telling you. Kevin Samuels, he was trying to keep black women and black women together. I just don't think it's going to work, man. I think I hate to say this, but I think black men have just outgrown black women. They just outgrown them. We aren't. I think it's dead. This black love shit. I hate to say it, but I really believe it's dead. Another thing, the menus are a lot. Cheesecake Factory's a lot of things in the menu, but I just think black love is dead, man. It died in the 70s, man. It's just women don't need us. They don't need us anymore. They want to make their own money. They want to do their own things. I think we should just let them go. The hell with it. Let black women go. I'm not gonna. My son, he asked me a question. I never told this to my sons, and they asked me questions. They're interesting about women, and I don't want to go there with them. I think they know black women ain't up to snuff, man. That's why a lot of brothers are getting their passports and they're going South America or South Asia or the continent, Africa.
I got some nice here. I'm gonna play this because like she was asked some questions, Simone Blitz, about her relationship. Listen closely. It's like a skit.
I've heard gymnastics stunted your growth. Still don't know if that's true or not, but here I am at 4'8", so you constantly have a wedgie from your uniform. Yes, I know you can get wedgies, but usually you just fix them. Beauty's a pain, so we get over it. They're intimidating to men. I feel like at a young age, yes, because I feel like our muscles develop way quicker than other kids our age, especially like in middle school. You don't see boys beefing up to like 16, 18 till they hit puberty. But even before girls hit puberty, we gain muscle. So we're typically stronger than the men in our age group. So yes. How did you meet your current boyfriend? Was it on a dating app? So before I started dating my boyfriend, he didn't know who I was. Was it on Raya? Yes, it actually was. No, we don't have to talk about it. It's fine. He's competitive at games and in life in general, but I'm not. But whenever I beat him, I make it known that I beat him. I've heard.
So there you have it. Now I'm not sure if this is recent or old. This might be.
What show is that from?
Huh?
What's that from?
This is a video skit. Simone asked a bunch of questions, including part about, her boyfriend, which she kind of was on the spot that she did not know him, meaning that he met him on a dating app. He really knew who Simone Biles was. So I'm not sure what's the argument, the energy a lot of these ladies complain about. And like I said, okay, she probably made more worth net worth, okay. But if he's a football player and he plays to a certain level, that's going to overshadow the net worth. So, but my thing is this: most dudes nowadays, they always will date up if needed. I'm not sure why this is so taboo here in the West. I heard non-black men, white men, have date up, and this is what I'm hearing. So I'm not sure what's so special about black men not doing so. I think it's like a mate guard when it comes to the ladies and the men in this community about who should be in control. And I think with a lot of ladies, in their mind, if you're not controlling this black man, you're not doing nothing at all.
So?
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
I don't agree with that.
Wait a minute.
Say that again, Gary.
No, I'm saying, I hope y'all can hear me good, because remember, I'm on the computer, and this is going to be.
Sometimes you cut out. Sometimes you cut out, but say it again.
Yeah, I can't fix it, so I'll repeat again. If you can't, go back to replay the stream.
Say it again.
I'll say this. Dating, up or down, if we want to go there. There are other racial men, non-black men date up, right? From what I'm hearing, I'm not sure what's so taboo from black men do it, even to the point where in our community, it seems to me that this dating thing or how we look at our relationships, that someone has to be in control. And for a lot of ladies that were in their feelings about Jonathan and Simone's relationship, that in their mind, they're looking at her and say, you should be controlling this black man. Why is the dude so confident that he's the prize? He's this and that. Very confusing.
Gary, a couple of things, and I think you say some things that tend to be somewhat confusing also, and that is that men in the same socioeconomic standard pretty much do the same thing. They tend to use the same accountants, visit the same markets, and so on and so forth. So it's not a strict racial thing. I think one limits themselves when they just have a full diet of racist leaning. And so I think the socioeconomic status of people is a much greater dictate of what they do. I don't know how you feel about that, Greg. And, of course, Jay from New York is kicking the hell out of $50,000. But
that's what he makes? $50,000?
No, he really put down $50,000, and I told him he shouldn't do that. But anyway, what I'm saying is that with the men and women situation, I think it's just gone to seed. It may come back in years to come, but the women now, like you take the average woman, she's in debt up to her eyeballs, right?
She is. Yeah.
In America, if they go to school, most likely they're going to be
but look here, Gary. Wait a minute. Let me just finish this point. See, the thing is, you got to understand that a lot of women who've gone to college, and they're praised for doing that, but whatever occupation they get into doesn't pay the bills. They don't make enough money to really pay off the student loan. I've met a number of them, $80,000, $100,000 in debt, and the interest is growing. Now, some of these women they say, well, the guys go overseas and they deal with these low quality, low budget women. But that's what they are too. They're broke too.
But you gotta understand, Ms. Solution, it's status. When we look at America, everybody think if they come to America or they meet an American person, they're thinking wealth, rich, a person with money. When they think about South America, Colombia, or a third world, or we could say even a good country that's not third world, they look at people outside America as poor, deprived, and don't got nothing but pot pissing. Because majority of Americans have not traveled outside the United States.
Well, 50% have passports now. That changed almost in the blink of an eye. it went from like, in the low, I think it was the single digits, and all of a sudden they say about half of Americans now have passports. Now, we were talking about it not long ago, and I said there was an article about the passport guys. Go ahead.
Who's this?
So he was there. It's Jay back on that. But finish what you got to say. I got to go back at you again with the shit.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Solution. I had to open the line.
No, I was just saying that, and I think it was Joe. Yeah, Joe said that it was due to people needing passports to go into the other countries. But that wasn't the subject of the article. The subject of the article was men going to other countries to date and marry women. And those men that are going over there, at least from my survey, they're going over there for at least three things. To date women, which there's nothing wrong with that. They're going over to find wives, and that's a good thing too. And some of them are actually starting businesses and buying property in those other in overseas countries.
You left out the one key. A lot of them are going out there straight up just to get prostitutes.
Okay, they do that here. They're cheaper there. Okay, they're a little bit cheaper there. They do that here.
A lot of them, they want a wife. They want to wife it. They want to wife a prostitute, or they want to wife a chick that is in poverty. I'm glad that Gary said exactly what it is. He said, when they hear America, remember, let's not forget, Mr. Solutions, the United States of America is considered the richest country in the world. So when you talk about you're in a third world country, right, outside of the United States, unless you in the UK, right, or Australia, right, everything else is after. So if you want to talk about the big boys on the block where there's riches, you're going to say, or consider, because they're Caucasian countries, so supposedly dominant, is UK, United States, Australia, right? But the United States sticks out more than every other country. So when you hear Americans are in a third world country, those people that live there, for the most part, they're seeing dollar signs. They're looking, and not in a malice way, malicious. They're probably looking for investment and all type of shit. But then there's women that's looking for their way out of. It's just like a chick from here that's looking for a way out of the hood and trying to meet somebody that got something. But don't get it twisted, Mr. Solutions. You put in all the black women in a box of women when you say that they're broke too. No, there's independent black women.
No, I'm not doing that. You're saying I'm doing that, but I'm not.
Let's clarify.
I'm saying that more women in every ethnic group matriculate. They at least enroll in college, all right? And they amass a lot of debt. That's all women.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay, so don't try to pigeonhole me there. One other thing. In those other countries, though, Jay, it's not just they're just rip-roaring to get with an American. They actually like American men for who they are. It's just like here, a lot of women like the men for what the men can do for them, like getting the bag. So it's not just there, it's here, it's everywhere, but maybe there a little bit less.
Right, but what I want to know from you, besides if you strip off all the money, what is it that they like more about the American then? You tell me what sticks out about a United States American, no matter what color. Take away the money. What is it that they're interested in?
The man. The man.
The man in
See,
what?
you may not understand that, but
wait, a body, a human.
Hold on, no.
Body?
Actually, there they value men. See, in many other countries except America,
Why?
Okay, because of what men do. Men, and see, you may not value men as much as you should. Men provide everything. Everything. Men both design it, produce it, and maintain it.
Maybe back then, but now.
No, now, right now, at this present moment, if you need
you got women. There's women CEOs, women running shit, women with their.
No, that's nothing. That's bullshit.
Now,
I mean, those women are.
Now, you want to talk about on a level of a man.
Mr. Solution, language, please. I'm not gonna have
so on the level of a man, you're not gonna compare and say, well, yeah, there's enough women that have businesses like men and are doing like men. No, but there's women that are rising, and what you're saying is that because men create everything and the women are over there, they're just like head over heels. Mr. Solutions is more to it than that. It's also how they're raised. That's something that's put in their mind. That's why a lot of those third world countries, they marry those girls when they're underage with an older man. They got money. And some of them countries even sell their children to men. So let's not play this game.
Well, wait a minute. I think you're tripping over yourself. You say that they're raised that way. That's right. Because that promotes less friction between men and women. When men respect women and women respect men, and particularly women respect men for what they do. Now, I follow this thing all the time. You have a few women that are CEOs and a few women that are in positions that men formerly held, but they don't really add any value. They're just there mostly as placeholders. It's not like
how they don't add value.
Well, what I'm saying is they don't do anything a competent man wouldn't do, right? And most women don't want those positions anyway because they have to compete against the men who want them, and men are willing to work many, many hours nonstop, and women don't want to do that. Now maybe they have a little bit more sense. Excuse me?
Not all women. Again, we can't box.
Well, I'm not talking of, okay, we're not talking about all in anything. But I'm saying when you look at corporate heads, and generally women take the easy jobs. They don't do the hard jobs. Like right now, we aren't drafting women. And check this out. When the Ukraine went...
men.
When the Ukraine went to... Yeah, but men have to sign up, though. And if they don't, they're punished. When Ukraine, all men between the ages of 18 and I believe something like 50, 46 or 50, they have to sign up for the military. The women left the country. And that's what usually happens when the shit really hits the fan.
Right, because most women ain't going to be doing those type of jobs.
But they want to be equal, though. They want equality, just like a man.
They should be.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, just saying.
Again, to say that these women out there is treating an American special because they respect the man or they love him, I would say it's more about the money and it's how they're raised. And yes, they're raised to do that because that's the domination of men inserting that from back then. So it's not
right.
About
but you need to understand that two things can be true at the same time, Jay.
Right.
Number one, yes.
That the man don't want no talk back over there.
There's a socioeconomic aspect to all relationships. That's understood. But there's also a respect and appreciation. And you answered it yourself. You just said that they're raised, their culture. That means both men and women contribute to their offspring. The women having appreciation for the men. Now, that's true in the Hispanic culture, too, because if you notice, like in many Hispanic households, the daughters are taught to serve the father and the brothers. And a lot of times women in other ethnicities, when they do that, if you want to say the ones that identify as black, they clown each other for doing that. And I noticed one woman...
Is changing, right? You know that.
Hold on. One woman said to her friend, she said, well, that's the reason you guys don't have a man. Don't try to tell, you manless women, don't try to tell me how to treat my man. They showed up at a party, and she went to prepare her man a plate. and her friends, so-called, start to turn their nose up. Let him get his own plate. And the woman stopped and said, look, you guys are single. I have a man. Don't try to tell me how to treat my man. So my hat was off to that woman for standing up for treating her man in a special way. And that's what causes men to come back home instead of roaming, is when they have something at home to return
to. Being a servant, again, that's you're talking about old tradition, old way of thinking, and I would say this: more women.
Yeah, a lot of that works.
Right. Well, look, you're again comparison of the American women here or American black women is that they have woken up to a lot of that shit. They're not gonna play that game.
What game?
Again, the game of the old traditional what you think is a woman's place. You understand?
Okay, well, look,
so
if you're speaking
that
for
shit
women,
is about to change, and so we're going through a transition, and a lot of people are holding on to that old way of thinking. And again, like I said, listen, it's going to catch up even to the South American, Central American women. As they keep developing, right, and we're in the internet age, right. There's going to be a change even down there. So what I would say is this. Have your fun while it is here, because all that shit's going to change little by little. Now,
well, you're very cynical.
Hold on.
Okay, but I want to get this before too far, but go ahead.
Let me hear Jay.
There's going to be certain women that are going to traditionally still go by that. You're always going to find women that are going to be there. But what I'm saying is that in these populations and places, you're getting more and more women that are becoming independent. They're studying, and they're saying, you know what, if they don't need a man, if they want a man, they'll have a man, and they're not going to be a servant cooking and serving plates to the man like she's a servant. That's all. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I don't consider it to be a servant or a chore for a woman to do for her man. But okay, since you're making that argument, and that's a very female argument, by the way, so the men are saying, great, okay, see you. Buy a dog and die alone.
But
you
Mr.
saying
Solution,
that.
hold on. Let me say this. And let me open Greg's line one more time. All right, Greg, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Wait, just wait right there.
Okay.
What you find here in developed to other undeveloped countries, and like I said, we have not traveled every part of every other continent, and there's 7 continents or 6 roughly, but who's keeping track of how society is structured? I know Asia, especially China, very developed. I'm not sure if any talk about independent women over there, because most of the Chinese still run by men, and they let it slide to a degree, and they're not gonna let it go through like what we witness here in the West. But outside other first world developing nations, some will fall culprit to the Western poison, and it's gonna happen when you develop more undeveloped countries. You get me? Now, I'll agree with that to you, Jay. Now, in regards to maybe if any pushback, that for those men that's looking for a certain archetype of woman, I mean, it's gonna make more men to be due diligence and to really explore out. And if they're serious to find a woman that they seek worthy of, copulating. Now, and the reason why I say this because as unfortunately how the society structure here in America and the West is not favored right now for men at this point, unless they're gonna risk it and say, screw it, I'm gonna find my knees one time, get up, fall again, get up, fall again. And usually, if you're a person, depending on your finance and where you are, stats wise, how much you make a year or whatever, you always gotta think, is it worth the cost to really take that and then know saying, I will have to pay out, then have to do it again and pay out. It's always a win-loss if you're going and tackle the relationship part here in America, if any person is going to do that. So I'm gonna let somebody else speak to really push back what I said or whatever.
Hey, look, man, where I live here in D.C., there's a lot of black women or women in general that are being evicted. All right, during the pandemic. I see there's a lot of women. I have my hand was over. that are getting evicted after the pandemic. You know, I don't think women. I really don't think that women want to do it alone. They'll all start to crack now. Like Miss Solution said, men are checking out, man. The men are found they really don't need women to marry them anymore. They've had enough of that shit. I think having a husband or a boyfriend in the future, because they said by 2030, half of women will be without a man. I think a man is going to be. I think, goddamn, Patriots won. I think that having a boyfriend is going to be a luxury item, or husband. It's going to be a luxury item. Men are checking out. They're saying no to all this shit. And women are going to be the biggest losers. These women aren't making. Look, man.
If you didn't get it, bro, pussy runs the world, bro. I don't think you
understand
that.
But pussy, I know.
Listen,
but pussy's free.
Pussy.
Pussy's free, bro.
Pussy,
it's not that hard to get pussy, bro. Man, you're naive, bro. You're naive. Yeah, but they aren't getting married anymore. They aren't having girlfriends. Okay. I'm seeing it right now. I know a lot of dudes they're fucking, but they aren't married.
Listen.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Please.
Men are getting sex, but they're not getting married. Okay, put that to your little peanut brain of yours. Okay, JNYC.
You're talking about the new gen. You're talking about
they aren't getting married. They aren't getting married.
Married later.
No, they're not.
Married later.
They're not getting married. I can't remember last. No, you know I can't remember.
We're gonna move forward because I don't want back and forth.
I can't remember the last time I've been to a wedding. I've been to a wedding probably in 7 years. I've been to a wedding. None of my buddies are getting married. None of their kids are getting married, man. It's changed.
That's why.
They're not getting married. My sons aren't thinking about having a wife. For one, they can't afford it.
He's
going to
get married later.
And, no, I don't think he will. He might, but man, when my generation, I'm actually, I'm killing the baby boomer.
We're talking about now. So
they're not getting. Look at the rates. Look at the marriage rates, bro.
But if you talk, hold on. You talk. We have Mr. Solutions talking about how men are going right now to other.
They are. They're leaving.
They're trying to get married.
That's
so
right.
That means they're trying to get married. What do you mean?
But the rates are down.
Are they getting married or they not?
The rates are down. Look at the marriage rates. They're low, man. 30% of black women are married.
Didn't you claim that they're getting married?
They are, but the marriage rates are down. It's black women. 30% of black women are married. 60% of white women are married. I think 27% of black men are married. There's this 1911, the turn of the century, 90% of the black men and women were married. 1910, and it's been going down since I think the 60s or 70s. It's been dropping, and marriage is the opposite. Women don't think they need it. They don't need. They say they don't need men. Well, prove it. I want to see it. I think they do. You know, my wife. You know what? My wife talks about. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. But this guy, Jay doesn't know what he's talking about. What?
Go ahead, Greg.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that look, my wife has a degree. My ex-wife had a degree. A girlfriend had degrees. That doesn't equate to making more money than men. Men still earn. Black men still earn women. I don't give a damn what you say. I'm an electrician.
You go to a foreign country to meet your wife, though?
No, she's
met him there,
here.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're talking about foreign women, right? So we're talking
my wife
about
is a different age. My wife's a different age bracket. My wife is in her 50s now. We're talking about 20-year-olds, huh?
We're talking about we're talking about men right now in general. Whatever age is leaving right now overseas, or they're going to South Central America, and they're getting married.
Let me address that, Jay.
Go ahead, Mr. Solutions.
See, what happens is a successful man has more to lose, especially given the civil court system in America. So I've heard men actually state they would never get married in America, or they have to do it in a very careful way. I'll give you a couple of things I've gone over. Now, I haven't heard the guys talk about this, but there's Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, you have the West Virgin Islands, and I also use Hawaii. It's just a non-contiguous U.S., but those others are territories and commonwealths. So what that means is the man could actually bring the woman here, but she's from a different culture. They do have more respect for men in those venues that I just mentioned. And if the relationship doesn't work out, the woman can either stay here because she's already a citizen, or she can return to her home country. But see, the U.S. State Department, if you go on their website, if you bring a woman from areas other than what I just mentioned, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, American Samoa, and I use Hawaii too, but I just explained that. You don't have to sponsor those women. See, if you bring a woman from Thailand or a woman from Brazil or any of those other places, the DR, you have to sponsor those women. And so what men are doing, they're either staying there, because I think in Brazil now it's like 5-to-1. It may be more than that, but you get 5 times your purchasing power for the dollar. So some men are taking women out, but the women are more peaceful. They're not having to fight the women. The women are not like competitors. And you said this a moment ago, Jay, so I'm just going to seize upon your statement. Those cultures, many of them are like 30 years behind the U.S. So that's a long time. That's actually an entire generation. 30 years is a long generation. 20 years is considered a short generation. So that's a lot of time for the two parties to enjoy each other. So there's still a benefit going to these other countries. And don't think these other countries are bad. One can live a nice middle-class lifestyle. I watch the guys, they send back pictures or what they call receipts of where they're living. They're living in safe places, this kind of stuff. So there's a class structure there too, just like there is here. So they are living better. They're eating better, eating fresh food.
What is the dollar to their dollar, wherever that is? You said 5 times. So
well, in Brazil, it's like 5-to-1, right. And in Thailand, it may be more like 10-to-1. And in the Philippines, but look, there are multiples. Just think multiples. So going out to dinner, instead of it being $200, $300, $400, it's like under $50 for 2 people. All they can eat. Healthy food that doesn't have all the pesticides and other, harmful agents. So it's a much better life, stress-free, healthier. There you go.
Right, but financially, again, if we're talking about women that are seeking American men, I question what is their real, interior motive. What is they really marrying these guys? Are you saying that you as an American man is more charming than a man from that area, and your finances got nothing to do with anything?
Okay, see, there you go again with these damn hyperbolic streams. Okay, no one has to live. See, you're making an argument where you are assured to win. Okay, but no one is saying what you're.
It's not about what I say.
That's a straw man argument. The fact of the matter is, on the aggregate, it's a better life. The women are more cooperative. It's not perfect. I'm not saying to you it's flawless. Let me just give you an example. On a scale of 1 to 10, if men have been experiencing below average, like 3s and 4s, that is lifestyle, dating, this kind of thing with women, over there it's like 7 and 8 because they talk about the women hitting the gyms. Women are in those gyms because over there, Jay, women actually compete for men, right? They compete for men. And so it's in part what you say. It's in part they're xeno, they're exotic, right? That, and they have a socioeconomic status. Some of them are called digital nomads, but they're in a lot of different businesses. And many men over there, they're content creators. So there are multiple reasonings And as long as a guy doesn't get over there and respect the existing culture and try to learn the language a little bit and behave yourself, hey, you fit right in. So it's a win-win situation. Go ahead.
Yeah, Gary.
Jay,
yeah.
Speak up, man. You're away from your phone. I can barely hear you, bro.
So again, I question the ultimatum or what is really the agenda for this woman. I don't think that not all, because I'm not going to box in all, but I'm gonna say a significant amount of those women are looking at American men as dollar signs, seeing white men that are married to these South American and Central American women, and they have seen that they hit the jackpot, they're getting out the hood. That's the mentality. When the white man goes down there, he's getting himself an exotic woman that is going to do whatever he wants, or most of the things he wants, because he got the money. Point blank.
Well, you know, what I've heard guys say, now they're living there, you're not, and I'm not, but I've heard them say, look, they want a woman. They don't want the bottom of the barrel women. They want, because they consider themselves, quote unquote, high value men. So they want a woman that has her place to stay, her own place. She has a vehicle and she has an occupation. She's gainfully employed. Now, I heard them talking about the criteria. Now, see, you seem just overly pessimistic or cynical, and I don't know why you have to be that way. But why can't you be positive? But what these men are doing,
I'm being real, bro. It's not about being pessimistic. Listen, we understand that some men go there legitimately and meet a woman, and not all
they're going over there. They're enjoying their lives. They're sending back receipts, and they're saying to other men, you know, come here and see for yourself. So I think you need to look into some of that too.
Well, no, I know about that, and I would say a large amount are going over there, and they're going.
Well, but you wouldn't be saying what you're saying.
No. The truth. No. We gotta be real. A lot of men are going down there purely to have sex with women, good-looking women for cheap price.
But wait a minute, what's wrong with that? Hold, stop right there. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. Just be real.
Stop
and stop acting like, oh well, it's the woman from here, and you know they treat them better because you're a great man. Bullshit.
Well, that's what they're saying.
That's bringing the cash. They'll say whatever they say when that cash is in the damn table.
Have the cash here, and it's not working. Okay, so there you go. You're canceled out.
Your cash goes a long way, and a woman will tell you anything if she's interested in getting that money. Stop. Let's not say that.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, look, I think you are excessively cynical, right?
Hold on. Let me stop this because I'm past my time. I'm gonna say this, Jay. Be fair with you, bro. Men are gonna go where their money goes further and get what they need. If you can't get in America, by all means, book a flight ticket, go over there, and get your rocks off. I'm not here to promote dick policing or tell men say you need to spend money here if you haven't not. Overall, at the end of the day, men need needs be met. And regardless, over there, and trust me, I have one friend that I had on my channel. If you subscribe to the channel, which you're not, but I'll give you this, Jay. Yeah, it's different atmosphere when you're over there, and it makes sense it's gonna be different because a lot of women outside America have not been westernized. Some of them are doing well, and some are not doing well. It depends what you're looking for when you leave America to go somewhere else. And let's be honest, a lot of women that's getting caught up by the dudes that's passport bros. I'm gonna tell you a little secret. You ready, Jay? Come on in the stream. Jay, you there?
Go ahead, Gary. We're listening.
Is that Jay? Who's that? Oh, Jay, you there?
Yeah, now I hear you. Got it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I met the wrong person.
No, don't worry about it.
Don't mind. No, I'm gonna open up as a wrap this up.
I got you. Good.
It's this. They're traveling. They're gonna pay for it one way or the other. where they have to interact. It's gonna be different feel because you're there, American. They see it in their mind. It says dollar signs and opportunity. That is it. Regardless who they have in their own inner circle, it can be a come up. Now, my good friend Andre, because he's in Colombia and he's married to a Latin woman. He talks about experience here in the States and here over here. And I agree with him, man, because of the frustration. I'm not knocking because he's a married man now. He's settled down and all that. The point is this: most men, after some point in life, they either they're gonna get the outcomes they need or they go somewhere else. And the one thing now is come to me now, Jay. There are black women now that's traveling, having question and having the so-called conversation with black men that's no longer really invested in America, which I find it very weird. But that's another story. That's another story. But I can't go into in the stream because it's been a long time since I came on TRS. But I will say this: if the men travel, if the men are no longer here invested, leave them alone. Let them go out, do their thing. You get me? The only thing that
that's what I was saying. Listen, let's call it what it is. Yeah, let's just call it what it is.
But Jay,
the solutions is playing games.
But be honest with you, bro, regardless of what they call it is, that's not our concern now. That some of them are no longer here. It's like me saying, I'm here in America, I'm paying for chicks here. No one's got a problem. But if I was the other person, I'm going outside, they say, well, why you know you're over there? That's
I don't care. I don't care either way. My point is that what Mr. Solutions is he's painting the picture that they're going over there and the women are attracted to these men purely because of their great men or whatever. And I'm saying, just be real. It's about the money. He's trying to make it seem like it's different. No, let's be real. That's all.
Okay. I think I follow what you mean. I think I follow what you say. That they say the great men. Let me tell you something. I'm a man. You're a man. I don't give a fuck if women. I go over there and say I'm great. I need my needs met. If I go outside America, go somewhere else, I'm gonna be upfront honest with what my intentions are. Period. I don't care what anybody else worry about what I do outside America. I'm not paying over here for sex. I know you don't pay for sex. I don't pay for sex. So if a man don't get it here easy, I tell him go somewhere else. Hold on, let me open this line. Somebody raised their hand just now. Hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, how are you doing? Yeah, sure. Make it quick, somewhat.
Come on, man. Stretch it out, Gary. You should don't go nowhere, Gary. You should keep it going, bro.
Relax. Let me run the show.
Okay, I'm not gonna be in here long because I'm really tired of this conversation with dudes who act like women. Okay, and my point is that these dudes that say this stuff that they're going over there and they want people to be real and all that. Well, to be real, I always question these dudes. Well, why aren't you married here in America? Well, why aren't you married? If it's so great, why aren't you married? Because
is that a direct question to Jay?
Hold on, because they're no different than the dudes who are traveling. You see, if that's the case, so don't tell me. Don't
talk up close to the mic.
Huh?
Talk up closer. Just talk up closer if you can. A little bit closer.
So don't try to question dudes who decide to travel. Some dudes go over there strictly for pleasure, and some go for business, and try to find that special someone. That's life. That's how it works out in life. Every guy that goes over there ain't looking to be married. They're not. They're looking to be married. Some dudes been married before. They're not trying to be married again. They're not. So what I'm saying, dudes who love America that much and love some of the bullshit here in America, why? Our question dudes all the time, why aren't you married? Happily married. So the same dudes who's talking this shit, they're not even married. They're not even married. So again, that's how I look at this thing, man. I think that it gets to a point. I think Mr. Solution was right on point when he was saying these, some of these dudes go over here and they do find that. They do find love. They do find that. And then there's the ones who don't care about love no more. They just strictly care about pleasure, and that's it. They ain't trying to be married to nobody. They don't care where they're from.
All right, yeah, sure. All right.
You know.
All right, then.
So that's all I'm trying to say, man. You know.
All right. Well, I'm not sure if that was a direct question to Jay. If you want to respond right now. Come out to call it a night. Go ahead.
All right, so I mean I don't know if it was directed because for what
well, he's asking if it was so good in America, why are you not married?
Well, it has nothing to do with me in America or not America. My point is just being clear of what solution put on the table. Like these women, again, on large amounts, because everybody's not going for the same thing. But I'm saying that he's making it that these women are accepting these American men solely because they're great men and there's no money involved, or there's no money that is interest, or there's no elevation in their life. They're not looking for if you want to say like a come up, if you want to say, right? And again, whether it's malicious or not, whether they want their life to change, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm saying specifically to what he said is that let's not act like these women in Central America, South America, or wherever is third world, that they're accepting and loving you because you have better qualities than the men over there. A lot of it has to do with money. And again, everything is not boxed in as one thing. I'm saying that a large amount, when you talk about men coming in, and whether they get prostitutes, that's their business. Do what you want to get 1,000 women all over. That's your business. The point is, what I'm trying to make is that Mr. Solutions is acting like these men are not admitting that they're going out there for a good time and they're spending the money, and that's how they get the good time. It's not that they're going out there broke and saying, hey, love me for me, and we're going to get married and everything happens like that. For the most part, that ain't happening. There is cases, and not every woman, I said it, is broke over there, and they're not just living third world. There's women that got jobs, they got education, and they want to see, just like we like foreign women, and some men are not going over there purely to find a woman for pure sex. He's looking for a woman just outside of the country to just explore whatever. Yeah, we have that, but let's not play that game. Mr. Solution, you ain't get married overseas or here. So that's my point. So if you going overseas, obviously you ain't find nothing there, and for the most part, you're gonna have to spend some money to do that. Whether you're spending it on the girl specifically or for prostitution, or you're spending money to be out there to find whatever you're doing. And at some point, again, you're not gonna be the broke guy that they're gonna accept because you ain't got no goddamn money. And you're just going to be like, oh, well, yeah, she's going to marry a broke American. I doubt that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for listening to today's stream. It's been a while, man, as you know. I might do this again soon. Who knows? I had to come back on, because it's been a while, And, I think somebody was supposed to, in the chat room, ain't calling, but that's their business, We're not worrying about it because I do content. Unfortunately, I do it. I do the bad thing, I can't speak for everybody else. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys were informed. And maybe I might do this again soon. Who knows, But other than that, thank y'all for listening. Until next time, take care and good night. To the channel as well, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all, and